What is going on, guys? My name is Jericho, and welcome to a long-ass video. That's right, this one's gonna be kind of a long one for good reason. I hope it's gonna be worth it for you guys. You could even think of it as like a miniature podcast, but what this is this is a video I've wanted to do for a really long time. If you guys are new to my channel or you've been following me for a couple years, you gotta know that I've been doing this for 6.5 years. I've been uploading videos consistently to YouTube for 6.5 years. It started out as doing it once a week, then it moved to every couple days, and then it became daily. I even did like 3 videos a day at one point, and then that almost killed me, so I tried not to do that anymore. But I've been wanting to do a video discussing solely my life on YouTube and kind of how it evolved for the longest time, because I'm coming up on 1 million subs. Everybody always does these Draw My Life videos, and I'd love to do one for you guys, despite the fact that I'm going to be bitched at, because what is my blue screen doing right now? I'm going to get bitched at for, you know, having a pretty boring life, I'm not going to lie, in terms of, like, nothing crazy. Like, I didn't get hit by a bus, you know? So I thought I'd accent it. We're almost at 1 million subscribers. I thought, what better time to do this, all right? Let's go ahead and do a video talking about my life on YouTube. So where does it all begin? Technically, it begins longer than 6.5 years ago. It begins about 7.5 years ago. 7.5 fucking years ago. I got my Xbox. I was not able to play online for a while, and the only game that I was able to buy because I knew that it was actually fun was Call of Duty 4. I didn't have online. My parents didn't want me to, you know, waste a lot of my time playing Call of Duty or playing any game for that matter. So they waited a long time until I was able to get a console on my own. I started off with a PS2 playing single player games, but I finally purchased an Xbox with my own hard-ass earned money. And before that, I used to have to go over to my friend's house and play. I used to have to go over to my friend Nick's house and watch him play Gears of War or, you know, even play Call of Duty. And I played the beginning Call of Duty 4 mission so much, I'm sick of it, okay? That damn mission on Wetwork. Was it Wetwork? Yeah, it was Wetwork. On the boat, God, dude. I played it so much. And I actually wanted to buy the first Assassin's Creed game. Guess what? Went to Walmart. It was sold out, so I bought the Call of Duty 4. Ended up playing that for a while, and eventually I got online, started meeting friends, starting playing with people, and I really liked sniping. Like, sniping was fucking fun for me. And I don't know what did it, but, you know, the more that I sniped, the more that I realized there were other people out there like me. So one day I went to YouTube, and there's this guy named ZZIR, G-R-I-Z-Z. We called him Zizzer No, we called him Zergriz. Zergriz is actually the guy that I ended up naming my dog after. And what he did was he found a way. He found a way to record himself playing video games. This was something that nobody else had done, that I knew of, nobody else was doing. It was new. And the way he did it was he used a capture card called a Dazzle. Actually, he started out with an easy cap, and then he got a Dazzle. And Grizz would do these things called no-scopes, where he'd do pop like that. Look at that shit. By the way, you probably already seen that highlight. I made a video on it. This is just the unedited gameplay from that. This is such a dirty clip right here. And he did montages, and it started on Call of Duty 2. He would basically record himself hitting no-scopes and sniping and doing generally good. And it made me want to go, holy shit, you know, this guy's really good. I should try and be as good as him. And there are these things called sniper lobbies, and what you do is you'd meet other people that were really good at sniping and they enjoyed sniping, and you'd trying to get into a game where the only people there were people who were snipers. You basically get a pre-made team of 6, and then you'd go into a private match, and you'd send an invite to all your friends list, and you'd say, join on me for sniper lobby, and people would join in, and you'd start playing. And this went on for a while. Like, I was part of this sniper lobby group, these Call of Duty 4 snipers. These guys would make montages, and, you know, this was over the course of a year. And so I thought to myself, fuck it, I want to do this. I want to make a montage. So what I did was I set up my mom's video camera, my mom's camcorder that had, like, video of me playing soccer and shit like that. It's our family camcorder. I set it up on 2 big pillows, denim pillows, pointed it at my screen and made a montage. And this is what it looked like. This is pretty much it. It was miserable. It was not the correct way to do it. And yeah, it was pretty bad. And I set it to Linkin Park Numb. That was my montage music. It was pretty bad. And that was my first video. That was, if I'm not mistaken, in early 2008. And now I changed some things around. I changed my gamer tag up. I wanted to look more like a montage maker. So I put I in front, I at the end, and I put I in the middle. It's what you did when you were sniper. You know, you had these good looking names. So when you got like really cool kills, you could look up and it would look really nice in the kill feed, right? It would just look satisfying. So that's kind of how I got my start. And it was not pretty. And I realized that capture cards were expensive. Like a Dazzle was running about $130, and for somebody who was like 15 years old and didn't have jack shit for money, that's a lot of money right there. That's 2 video games. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna record this shit? I don't know how to edit it. What do I do when I record it? How do I record? Like all these questions. So what I did was I just kept playing sniper lobbies, and War to War came around, and I met a couple people who I played with often. His name was Skittle. His name was Mario, and I actually had the pleasure of meeting Mario for the first time in real life at the League of Legends Championships at the Staples Center. I guess that was 2 years ago. And Mario was a dude that actually convinced me to upload videos. Basically, we'd go into sniper lobbies, I'd be playing, we'd be messing around, and I would just kind of tell jokes. I don't know, they weren't funny in retrospect, really, but it was kind of like pointing out the discrepancies in video game logic, right? Like you had a gun called a PTRS. It was the sniper rifle in Call of Duty World at War, and this gun would shoot the legs off of people, and it was awesome, but it was an anti-tank rifle. This gun's job was to shoot through a fucking tank. And you're telling me that I could shoot this weapon, hit somebody in the chest, and they would kill me because I got a hit marker? Like, are you fucking me? That's just stupid. So it was videos like that I made, you know, and they started off really at once a week. I uploaded my first video in late August of, or maybe it was September of 2008, and that video is still available to watch. You can find it. It's called Thoughts of the Week, Week 1. And that's what I did. I basically did a rant show where I made fun of various things going around in the world that usually centered around video games, and it was bad. I wrote a script for myself, and it really seemed like it. I was kind of nervous. Like, nobody told you what to do in front of a camera. There weren't other people doing vlogging things like that for video games. Like, there weren't people doing that. And I guess that kind of helped me. In fact, I'm pretty sure that me not having a capture card helped set me apart from other people. So you might say, how does that happen? How does that work? Well, you know, everybody tells you that nowadays, you gotta make sure that you are setting yourself apart from other people. You gotta do something different, even if it's just being really good. Maybe it's being funny. Maybe it's the way you edit. Maybe it's the games you play or how you play. You gotta do something different. You can't just do the same thing everybody else is doing and hope to do well. That's just not how the world works. So, I didn't have a capture card. All I had was a 2006 MacBook with a webcam and a broken hinge so bad that when you opened it and turned on the computer, an actual spark would come from the wiring and smoke. That was what I recorded my videos on. And that was it. I just sat down and I did it. Each week I would do this. And it took about 3 weeks for my first video to get 100 views. 3 weeks of talking to people about it. Every time we joined a sniper lobby, like I kind of got this reputation for being, you know, a kind of a jokester, and everybody put in their bio, like in Xbox Live, like X-Clan, you know, super cool, like friends with this, and this. And it was all about who you knew back in the day. And because I was so ingrained in this group of people, I was never, this is funny, we're gonna go way back. It was being called known. Like you would, an insult would be like, get known, dude. Like nobody knows who the fuck you are. Like who's on your friends list, bitch? Like that was it. It was who you knew. And I knew quite a few people, but I was not in the upper echelon. I just knew like the second tier people, the people that would get invited to sniper lobbies, but wouldn't be in the pre-made party of 6 that actually made them, you know? So I was kind of a second-rate guy, but put a YouTube in the description, and I guess I made enough impression that I got people to watch. And it just, you know, it took 3 weeks, and there was this dude who, I can't remember his name. It started with an E. It was like Exotic or something like that. And he had like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which was a lot. At that time, Grizz had 5,000. Grizz was the largest gaming YouTuber in the world at 5,000 subscribers. And this guy was getting 3,000 to 5,000 views a video and all this shit. and this guy not Grizz, but Exotic or whatever his name is, shouted me out. And no, his name was Exxon. That's what it was. His name was Exxon. He shouted me out, and I got my first 100 subs. It took 4 weeks for me to get 100 subs, and I remember I made a video when I hit 69 subs shouting out all my friends who helped me get there. And man, I'm pretty sure all these videos are still live. You can go back and watch them, but Jesus, guys. So it took that long to get 100 views on a video, and that's cool. You know, to me, that's awesome. It really shows that you can honestly start from scratch and not like promote yourself too hard. You can just play with people and people will watch. And then I eventually got into a game with a guy named PSN Cool PJ. PJ, man, I haven't heard from him in years, but he was a big Call of Duty guy. He was one of the few people that played on PS4. He messaged me, and he did like a PSN Cool PJ top 5 plays of the week, something like that. He had 1,200 subscribers, and he featured me on one of those videos. He said, dude, you're so funny. I watched your video. I thought you're really great. Like, I'd like to feature you on here. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, yes. I went to school that day, junior year high school, second week of school or third week of school. Went there, was on my iPod Touch, the first gen, because I didn't have a cell phone that was a smartphone yet. And I remember looking at my email and seeing the subscriber alerts. Every 5 minutes or something, somebody would subscribe. And I got 115 subscribers that day. And then I got 300 total in the week from that video. And that made me go from a nobody to being a really big person in the YouTube community. And not only that, but I did it without recording gameplay. That was what was so odd about this. Like, everybody was making gameplay videos. There weren't any commentaries. That wasn't a thing. XCal was the only one who was even doing something sort of like that. Or Blame Truth. These two old legends were the only people that were starting to do something like commentaries. And even then, they weren't even like on the radar really. And that was so cool to me. I freaked out. I remember telling the one friend that knew in high school about it. I remember telling him, holy shit, dude, I'm getting subscribers. And he was like, that's cool. Like, that was it. He was like, that's cool. So let's get into the meat of it. Like, that was how I first got off to a start on Call of Duty. And PSN Cool PJ was actually friends with a group of people that a lot of you guys might know. Pyro Puncher, Sam 5000i, Chris Trout 91. These three guys were some of the biggest YouTubers in the world. And I remember Pyro Puncher getting into a game, getting into a private private party on Xbox with him. And I remember them talking to PSN Cool PJ, and I was fanboying. I was like, holy shit, Pyro Puncher has like 15,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers. He's so fucking big. This is awesome. And, you know, they added me. And I think Pyro was the first one to add me. Sam and Chris both added me later on. I still talk to Chris Trout every now and then. And I still talk to Pyro Puncher every now and then. And I've never met Pyro, ever. I've never met him. And I can't wait to the one time that I finally get to meet him. I met Chris Trout once, and Sam 5000i stopped doing YouTube a while ago. Never got to meet him either. Or PSN Cool PJ for that matter. So, you know, that's where I got started. I got started doing vlogs versus, you know, commentaries, and then it sort of evolved. You know, I ended up making skits. I wanted to do something funny, and the reason I did this was because somebody dared me to go out. I was like, man, I'm going to make a video where all I do is I go to a grocery store and I ask old people if they know who ZerGrizz is. And they were like, no, you're not going to fucking do that. And I was like, yeah, well, make me. Like, tell me I won't. And I did it. Went in, recorded a video, told people it was for a school project, asked them if they knew who ZerGrizz was. Really awkward. I was embarrassed the whole time. It was just, oh man. That was a video. That was my first video to ever break 1,000 views. And it was the video that I think was the sole reason that made me become, you know, a bit more popular. Popular enough that I got 1,000 subscribers total from it. And these skits and these vlogs, nobody was doing them. Nobody was doing this in the gaming space. Sure, there were people like, you know, Ray William Johnson who were doing videos of themselves in like funny videos, but nobody was doing skits and parodies and, you know, like Day in the Life of a No-Scoper, which is was my biggest like most known video ever up until like 5 years ago. This video, these like skits, fanboy rehab, where I just was so much of a fan that I had to go to rehab because I was freaking out every time I would join a game with like a semi-famous person. These are the reasons that I think I was able to make it, is because I was doing something that honestly was just not, it was not done before. And it wasn't because I wanted to, honestly. It was because I didn't have the money to get a capture card. And right around a couple thousand subscribers, I ended up finally having enough money that from my job at Chick-fil-A, I was saving up to get a brand new piece of equipment. It was called a Hauppauge HD PVR. It was the only way to record in 1080p or 720p. And I remember the Dazzle capture card would only record in 480. That was the highest quality you could ever record in. So that was what the montages we were watching were in. And the Hauppauge was $200 or $300 plus $50 of cables. I spent my entire savings on it. My mom thought I was an idiot. It was not made to record games. It was made to record like TV shows and shit. And that was the first time I made a real gameplay video. And I remember it now. I was using the Scar on Modern Warfare 2, on one of the DLC maps, I believe. That was when I was able to finally do it. Record a gameplay video. And this went on playing gameplays, doing commentaries. I started off doing something like TAG. It was called The Average Gamer. And basically I would give average gamers tips because I was an average gamer. Realized that wasn't working out. You know, I did just regular commentaries and shit like that. No face cams really until I did a collaborative video with a guy named VX Homicide. He had 9,000 subscribers. I had 20,000. This dude had recently gotten partnered by Machinima. And back in the day, the only way to make any money or get partnered, it wasn't even about making money. It was about getting your videos on the Machinima Respawn channel, where you would get 20 to 30,000 views a video. And that's insane. That was amazing. And I remember doing this video with him thinking, if I do this video with this guy who's on Machinima, maybe he'll recommend me to Machinima and I'll get a partnership. I had 20,000 subscribers. I was, you know, one of the larger channels out there. I wasn't the biggest. CNanners was at 100,000 at this point, and he was the first guy I ever knew that hit 100,000 subscribers. I didn't know him either. I remember him hitting 100,000, and I remember texting my friend Tiz, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, CNanners hit 100,000 subs. That's insane. Like, there's that many people that watch this shit? And he just did it really well, you know? CNanners did it really professionally. And the first time that I met him was in a Modern Warfare 2 private party on Xbox. I said, hey, send him a friend's request. He denied it, that bastard. And, you know, I continued to make videos with my friends Pat and Tiz. Like, those were the two guys that helped me make all those skits. And, you know, these guys were getting partnered, and they would get partnered by Machinima, and they'd have the opportunity to make $2 for every 1,000 views they got on YouTube, which was awesome. Can you imagine? You could say you had a real job playing video games. And here I was trying to get partnered. It was hard. You had to ask. You had to beg, basically. Finally, it happened. I got partnered by Machinima, and I don't think there's a video somewhere out there, I don't know who has it, of me freaking out when it happens. Like, actually losing my shit. I remember getting the email. I was playing Call of Duty 4 on Countdown. And I remember seeing the email and just losing it. I was screaming. I ran up and told my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm going to make money from playing games and uploading videos now. And Machinima would basically upload one video a month. You had to submit a video or something. And unless you were one of the better broadcasters out there, the better video makers, you got like one video a month. They put you in a rotation. And Machinima would upload 16 videos a fucking day. 16. That's how many videos they'd upload. So you really wouldn't... We're talking you get $5 or $6 a month. And I remember my first paycheck, $4.67. Oh yeah. I remember it so vividly because my mom made fun of me. I got the check, and I remember going up to my mom saying, Mom, look how much I got paid. She laughed at me. She was like, that's nice, honey, $4. But I just wanted to show her, like, I was doing something, you know? I was doing something. And you didn't make money. Like, it wasn't a thing. This Machinima partnership, I gotta make a timeline for you, was 2 years after I started uploading. 2 years of making videos without getting paid. 2 years of buying my own equipment without even thinking about getting that money back. 2 years of solely doing it because I loved it, because it was fun, because the people I met were awesome, because it was just awesome. And that was why I was so excited about a $4 check, because this was something that couldn't happen 2 years ago. Something that nobody ever thought was possible. And here we are, 16 years old, 15 years old, making money from playing video games. It was amazing. And that was a big turning point for me, because once I realized that you could make money, and finally about a year after you could upload to Machinima, finally YouTube started putting, giving the ability for Machinima to partner other channels, thus creating the first multi-channel network, MCN. And that means that you could monetize your videos on your channel and get paid for your work. And I was fucking hype, guys. I was hype. They only paid you every 3 months. My first 3-month paycheck was $68. Woo! Look at that money, making bank, boys. Almost enough to take a girl out to dinner and a movie. And this was right around the middle to end of senior year. And at that point, I thought I was hot shit. I think I had like 50, 60,000 subscribers. No. I was up at 100,000 subs, close to that. And I thought I was hot shit, you know? That was awesome. I think that realistically, I wanted to have, I liked the attention. And a lot of people know that the reason I got started, and I'll go into this with my Draw My Life video, was because I didn't have a ton of close friends. I had basically friends that I hung out with, you know, every now and then. Pat and Tiz didn't go to my school, so I couldn't hang out with them at school. It was just not, I was looking for an outlet to hang out. I was looking for an outlet to express my creativity, but not be called a weird fucko. Like, I was known in seventh grade, I was known as the joke killer. Basically, I was so unfunny that somebody could tell a joke and I'd try and like add on to it, and it would be so unfunny that like people would be like, dude, you killed it. Like, you killed the joke. It's not funny anymore. And that was pretty funny to look back on, you know, because now I guess I'm kind of known as like a funny dude. I'm kind of known as a video game comedy channel, which is a complete 180 from where I was at, right? So the next big thing that happened was I actually glazed over it. It was the beginning of actually we're right on track. It was the first time I went to PAX East, and when I said I had 50 to 60,000 subs, I guess I was lying, because I remember I had 27,000 subscribers by the time I was able to go to PAX East. And what I did was I did a live stream on Ustream, and I think I'll be able to pull up a video where basically all I do was I needed money to go up and pay the $300 odd to go to PAX, to get the train, to do all this stuff. And I did a fundraising live stream, and I felt kind of bad about it, but I did a fundraising live stream, and it was weird because I was asking people that I never met for money so I could go do something for myself, and that was kind of odd. And I know that it's a commonplace now, but back in the day it really wasn't. So in order to get people to do this, I let my girlfriend kick me in the nuts for $25 donations, and I'll see if I can find a video about it. But it was just like, it was out there, and my parents thought I was so weird that I was doing this, and they were uncomfortable letting me go to Boston, a place I'd never been, by train to go hang out with people they had never met. And I'm shocked to this day they let me do it. I am. But basically, that's how I first met my friends Gold Glove. That's how I met T Martin. That's how I met Woody's Gamertag, Merca Durka. That's how I met every person that I'm like, really good friends with, was during that time. Bash, like this dude named Earn My Respect. Some of these guys aren't even, try hard. Some of these guys aren't even making videos anymore. And it's just insane to think of how far I came, because I was one of the smaller guys out there. I was just this little goober, and it was interesting. So, fast forward again. I had a goal. I had a goal to get 20,000 views a day before I went to college. And that was a lot. 20,000 views a day, we're getting into modern day YouTube, right? This was what is that? Oh shit, that's 5 years ago. Holy shit! We're not even close, boys! It's 4.5 years ago. And And 20,000 views a day would mean $40 a day from Machinima, give or take. Because back then, you got paid $2 for every 1,000 views. That's it. There was no, like, crazy anything. That's what you got. And that would mean 40 bucks a day. That's like a full-time job when, that's, what is that? That's like 5 hours working at Chick-fil-A. So every day, hell yeah, that'd be more than enough to pay for everything I needed to do at college. And I remember that by the time I actually was able to go off to college and hang out there, I was at 20,000 views a day. I was at 25,000 views a day. I hit my goal, and I was fucking stoked, guys. I was going to make money. I had $1,000 in my bank account. It was amazing. And that summer was really great for me because I was excited. My dad was like, we need to talk about getting you a job so you can pay for stuff. And that was when my mom was like, I remember the conversation. We're in the car and she's like, well, I thought we agreed that YouTube would be his job. And my dad was just kind of quiet a little bit. And then he's like, yeah. He was just like, yeah, okay. So, shouts outs to mama for that one. And look at what happened. It paid off. So let's go forward. We're in college now. And I don't know how I managed to make videos. At the time, I'm still doing gameplays, right? I'm still doing YouTube gameplays and gaming commentaries on YouTube. And I'm not doing much besides skits in that. And I was kind of nervous, like, how the fuck am I going to work in college? But I realized that, I had so much confidence gained from YouTube that as soon as I went to college, like, I immediately made friends with a lot of people. To me, that was insane. I was not the popular dude in school. I had friends, but I wasn't like, I couldn't just like go and hang out with anybody. And in college, I was able to just like go into somebody's room and just be like, sup, man, what you doing? Like, that was crazy to me. And I was not ready for that, But I guess I just took it and ran with it. And I remember going to college. There was a video of me, my first day there. We're moving in, we're getting set up, and I'm vlogging. And people are just like hanging out and stuff. Nobody's asking me what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just filming it all. And it's weird because like at this time, like nobody did that. Like being a YouTuber wasn't a thing. But I was at like a good solid 100,000 subscribers. And I guess word got out that I was making YouTube videos, but nobody really bugged me about it. Nobody asked me about it really. Nobody like really got annoyed by it. I just found time to make videos in between classes. And I actually had to do classes and I'd get out of class like at 9 a.m., go get breakfast, record at like 10:30, then I'd go to my 1 p.m. class and I'd come back. Like I had to make videos in the morning because I'd have to study, I'd have to do work at night. And I don't know how I was able to do it. I'll be honest. Those walls were very thin. I was in a dorm room. Like my neighbors probably fucking my neighbors didn't like me that much, but I guess they weren't very outspoken because I was loud, dudes. I was loud. And we're talking 10:30 a.m. in college. Like, these dudes are trying to sleep and shit. So I got a couple texts every now and then like, yo, can you shut up? Like, I'm trying to sleep. And I was like, yeah, dude, sorry. But I guess because I don't want to say it's because I was known as the guy who had a YouTube channel and shit, but because there was something valid to what I was doing, it wasn't just I was a loud dude, but like I was working. It made people kind of back off a bit and not judge as hard. But like I never really talked about it. I never really had to talk about it. I never really had to explain to anybody what I did or why I did it. It was just like, oh, you make YouTube videos? That's cool. And that was it. And the first time I ever got to do do stuff with a company was with this company called Gunner Optics. And, I flew myself. I had to pay to fly out and work there for him. That was really weird. Now that I think about that, that's fucked up. They made me pay for my flight across the country to go and work Comic-Con with them. Like, wow. And that was when I actually was able to meet some other people that you guys will definitely know. I met my good friend Rhymestyle, who actually is a YouTuber now, does Dragon Ball Z stuff, but he worked for Gunner. And then I met Fwiz for the first time there. I met Hastro, owner of Envious, for the first time there. I met Andy Bravo Dudunsky, the Halo Pro, who was also now does esports at 343. Mason Neighbor Cobb, the guy, another Halo Pro. Elamite Warrior. Bravo's a good friend still. Elamite and Neighbor, not really. Who else? X-Jaws. I was there with X-Jaws. Rip in pieces, X-Jaws. And he's not dead. I was just saying that. And these are guys that like these. And I met Kate Panabaker. And Kevin Camden, all right, so this is also weird. All these people, this is 5 years ago, managed to somehow leave and come back into my life multiple times during this trip. That's what's so crazy about YouTube and stuff like this. Like, people will disappear and then come back and you're like, oh, what the fuck, dude? Like, you cross paths so much. Rhyme Style got me verified on Twitter when I had 12,000 followers. Fun fact, I was the first gamer in the world to ever get verified. That's a fact. Nobody else. Second gamer was Fwiz, okay? I was verified before anybody fucking else was. Suck on that, Nate Shot. But it was an interesting experience. And freshman year of college kind of went through there. About halfway through, though, I was talking to T-Mart, I was talking to Gold Glove, I was talking to Dunkus, and I was talking to Bash, and even Justra. And, these guys, we were just buds, but we were looking for that next step. And at this point, I was reaching a plateau. And I need to clarify this because everybody kind of assumes that when you drop out of college, it's for one reason or another other than... All right, there's a distinction, and I'm having trouble explaining it. I didn't drop out of college because college was too difficult, because I wasn't having fun, because there was something wrong. I had a 4.0 GPA for my freshman year. I mean, it was freshman year. It's not that impressive. Shut up. And I really fucking loved college. It was amazing. I dropped out of college because I could see that there was the only chance that I was going to have to make this a thing was I would either have to not do as much coursework and do more videos and spend more time on this, or I was going to have to keep the status quo of doing like 5 videos a week. And I saw that it probably wasn't going to work out the way I wanted to if I did it 5 videos a week. Like, I needed to make this my job, and it's my freshman year. I could always come back. I needed to make that distinction and say, look, I have the opportunity to come back to school. It is not the end of the world if I leave for 1 year and try and make this work. I saw that college was actually inhibiting me from making my dream a reality. And I made the choice alongside Gold Glove and T. Martin to move across the country to Los Angeles, California, and try and make a channel called The Gamer Shore. We were all going to move into this house. We were going to make videos together. We were going to boost each other's channels up. We were going to basically collaborate, make videos together, and it was going to be amazing. And we actually ran in. I remember the biggest issue, the part where I was actually scared. I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking screwed, guys. Like, this isn't going to work out. A community manager job opened up at Machinima, and they offered Gold Glove the job. And I was scared because we're just kids, and they're offering they're offering Brennan this well-paying job with benefits in a dream company. And I was like, he's going to say yes, and I'm not going to be able to go, and the dream is going to fall apart. And a couple weeks later, he said no. He was like, let's go. Let's fucking do it, guys. So we did it. We oh my God, I can't believe we did this. I remember dreading telling my parents I'm dropping out. It was it was during Christmas. I remember going to sitting down with my parents and saying, look, my parents pushed me to be as good as I could be in college. They pushed me to study. They pushed me to not squander my shit. My dad always said, I usually was like the jokester in the class, whether it was funny or not, it's up to you guys, but I was always a disruptor. And I remember my dad saying, like, you're not going to get into UNC. That's the only college I really wanted to go to. You're not going to get into UNC with C grades, joking off in class. And he was right. I didn't get into UNC. I got into every other college. I got into Penn State, Maryland, Delaware, UNCW, South Carolina. Like, I got into every state, every school I applied to, except for Chapel Hill. Bummed me out. Fucking, I'm a Tar Heel for life, son. I remember sitting them down and telling them, like, look, I'm going to do this. Like, this is why. Here's my reasoning for it. I'm actually making good money. At this time, I was making, like, $2,000 a month, which is, for a college kid, I was fucking rich, which comes with its drawbacks. I was always like, people were like, yo, can you get the cab? And I'm like, are you fucking me? Like, pay your equal share. Just because I work my ass off doesn't mean you get to take some money. Either way, I was making enough money that my parents saw, like, okay, $24,000 a year, not a lot of money, especially not when you're moving into California. You're going to be living on the streets. But they saw that I was passionate about it. They saw that I was making something out of it. And I think that more than anything allowed them to kind of ease off of their parental like guidance and say, you know what, let's let them do it and see what happens. So come the semester, I withdrew from my courses. I basically moved on June the 6th, which was 3 days after I got home from college. Got home, basically packed all my life away into a couple bags, shipped a bunch of PCs and shit over there, and then told my family goodbye. And then I spent 3 days in West Virginia with my friends that I actually became really close friends with. Again, I'll cover that in my Draw My Life video, but I ended up becoming really close friends with a group of people I never thought I would be friends with. Or not that I never thought I would be, but I didn't think I'd be really close friends with because I just started being myself. You know, I gained confidence from doing videos and having people bitch at me and tear me a new one. Like, I stopped caring about what people thought. I was just me. So I went out there, we hung out for a couple days, and I came back and I moved across the country. And it was right during E3. I went to my first E3. And at this time, I'm still making videos, guys. I'm still making videos. Still making the same old commentaries, still making the same old shit. And I think that the scary part for me was that at the time, I was no longer with Machinima. I was with this company called BBTV. How the fuck did I forget about this, okay? Rewind. Fuck Machinima in the fucking ass. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Before that whole, Machinima, like, I can't believe they signed me into this contract. I was the first person to leave Machinima's contract. All right, they signed you into a perpetuity agreement, which means lifetime, which means that's that's the definition of slavery. You work with me for the rest of your life. That's what slavery is, okay? That is what slavery is. They were the only they could cancel it. And yeah, you know what? I made a mistake by signing that contract. Was it legal for them to make that contract? No. Still made a mistake about it, and I learned my lesson. But like, I had my dad review it, and it's not like my dad thought anything of it. Like, he's just like, you're making videos on the internet, like, whatever. So that cost me $6,000 in lawyer fees to get out of that contract, by the way. And for a college student, that was basically all the money I had. So Machinima can go fuck themselves. I hate that company with a burning passion. Everybody who works there is awesome. Fuck Machinima, the company. Also the Debevois twins that owned it. Fuck you guys. I'm glad you got fired. Anyways, now that I've got that catharsis out of the way, we moved out here. And we set up shop in this house, and it was fucking awesome. It was basically 3 friends all making videos, hanging out together. And then we realized, oh fuck, we're not making videos together. We were so concentrated on everything that we were doing on our own channels that the Gamer Shore wasn't really the Gamer Shore. It was like 3 dudes living in a house. And that was fine. Like, I was content to do that. We were all content to do that. I was playing League of Legends for 6 to 8 hours a day. This is like before I was really into streaming that much. Goldie was streaming 16 hours of DayZ a day. That's not an exaggeration. I saw Goldie less than I saw the mailman. We never saw that guy. And, T. Martin was just working his ass off all the time. And we realized, like, we're never going to do videos together. We're so concentrated with our own channels trying to stay afloat in this house that costs so much fucking money, in this place that costs so much fucking money, that we don't have the time to like go, oh yeah, let's take 3 or 4 days off and just film together. Like, that wasn't in our minds a possibility, which sucks because I stand by it. We could have had something fucking special if we had done it. We could have had an amazing, amazing channel for that. So T. Martin moved out, which started the coin phrase, pulling a T. Martin. And why he moved out? Well, he had a girlfriend and he wanted to be closer to her. So T. Martin pulled a T. Martin, moved out of the house, leaving just myself and Gold Glove. So we needed a roommate. In comes Muzza Fuzza, moving all the way from Montana with his girlfriend Taylor. Muzza was one of the first people that I ever met from YouTube, aside from like Pyro Puncher and them. Fun fact, I had an email or like a private message from Muzza Fuzza, and it was when I had 800 subs, and it was him asking me for a shout out. That was pretty cool. Because he was historically like one of the biggest channels in the world. He was. When he moved in, Muzza Fuzza was one of like the top 10 big gaming channels in the world. He had like 450,000 subscribers. I had like 200,000. It was insane. So, yeah, so he moved in, and it was myself, Gold Glove, and Muzza, and basically we lived together. We decided to, work together and all that jazz. and we kept making videos. I was making skits, I was doing YouTube videos, and around that time is when, after I saw Gold Glove really blow up on Twitch, and it really helped his channel. Like, I saw him go from, he was thinking honestly about trying to make ends meet with another job, and I was like, dude, you, like, really? Like, you're Gold Glove, you can't do that shit. He worked his ass off and just fucking ran train and really motivated me to get my ass on in gear and stop playing League of Legends off stream for 8 hours a day. And after seeing that, he really motivated me to start streaming, so I did. And that's when I started streaming on Twitch regularly. So, Goldie found a girl, decided to move out back home. He pulled a T. Martin, and then there were two. Before he moved out officially, a little dude named Syndicate, little guy named Tom Syndicate rolled on in, and he decided to take the room left by T. Martin. And that's how we got to hanging out with Tom. Tom was in LA so much with hotels that he was like, fuck it, I might as well just rent an apartment. I was like, fuck it, you might as well just live with me, dude. Like, we are all YouTubers, we all know each other, we're buds, like, let's do this. So Tom decided to move in. And that's, then it was myself, Muzzafuzza, and Syndicate. And that's how it kind of stayed for a couple years. And, you know, we're still doing the same type of videos. At this point in time, I was making, you know, 1 or 2 videos a day, because regardless of what I was trying, it just seemed like nothing was sticking. I wasn't growing as fast on YouTube. I wasn't getting as many views. My streams, I was getting like 300 viewers a stream, which for me was big, and I was really enjoying streaming, but like, it just wasn't paying the bills really. And I actually had to end up kicking it into high gear and doing 3 to 4 videos a day. And I did that for 2 or 3 months. Guys, that killed me. Some people are able to do it. Some people are honestly able to do that much, but I can't. I don't know what it is. I make 1 video a day and I live stream. If I could live stream all day, I'd be happy. If I make 1 video or more a day, I just get drained, you know, or more than 1 video a day. I just get drained, and it's really weird. I don't get it. And there's just not enough time in the day to do 4 videos a day and feel sane, you know? You're in your room all day. So I stopped doing that. And honestly, I was thinking about getting a new job. I was thinking about, you know, YouTube was not making ends meet. I was making less after a year and a half living here than I was when I was living with my parents back at home. You know, Machinima wasn't doing the guaranteed $2 CPM, $2 for 1,000 views. I was making about $1 per 1,000 views. And like, it just, you know, 20 bucks a day is not enough. 30 bucks, 40 bucks a day when you're actually like trying to live a life. Not like, I live at home, so I make, you know, any money's good if you live at home, but trying to pay rent, trying to pay for groceries and all that shit, it's not enough. And I seriously was talking to my friends, like I was talking to Razor, I applied for a League of Legends shoutcasting job for the LCS, like I needed something else. And Brennan, Gold Glove, sat my ass down and was like, look, dude, I was in the same position. You saw what happened. You saw what I did. You need to do that. You need to sit down and just go. You need to just sit down and fucking try your ass off and really get your stream life in order. You can't squander away time by playing games off stream. And he was right. I mean, I credit a lot of like my reasoning for not quitting due to him. I was seriously looking for jobs and I was like, fuck it. I'll give it another 6 months. By then I'll be pretty broke. Like, and I can always move back home. And the biggest thing that changed all of this is undoubtedly Mayanite. I think that it's kind of odd to think about it this way, but I was around 420,000 subscribers by the time we started doing Mayanite. And for better or for worse, I got a lot of new fans out there, a lot of new viewers that were very different from the content that I produced. You know, Syndicate, Tom, great, like, fucking friend of mine, has an amazingly large user base full of all types of viewers. And we decided that we wanted to do a Minecraft-based game. Minecraft-based, guess series. I don't know why I said game, but it is kind of a game. A series. And when you do a series on a game that you don't normally play and you get viewers that are accustomed to the type of content that's produced on that game, you get different types of viewers, is what I'm saying. I'm used to playing Call of Duty. I'm used to cursing, doing skits, making funny videos about smoking like dank bud, but it's really just my dog's poop. Like, you know, stupid shit like that. versus the audience that comes with Minecraft tends to be a little bit younger, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So what happened was Mayanite comes along, you know, Tom and I are sitting down thinking of what we can do to name this thing and, you know, just mess around and all that jazz. It really was his idea. He was just like, you want to do this? And I was like, hell yeah, of course. Why would I not want to do this? Sounds like fun. And I was just a little bit nervous knowing that I'm going to get a large amount of people that have no idea who I am, and that sucks. You know, I've spent this whole last 5 years of my life building a nice little community full of people that honestly know what I'm about. They're my friends. They're the people that I know I would be able to hang out with on a day-to-day basis. And now we're going to throw in a bunch of new kids to the mix, and I'm a little nervous about that. And it went really well. It did. I think that with the addition of Jordan and with the addition of Sonya, I mean, Mayanite as a whole was an unbelievably awesome experience. And it still hopefully will be for the next season if we go forth with that. It was an awesome couple months where we just had some fun. But at the end of the day, I also had a ton of people that also expected a different type of content from me. My viewers got a little bit younger, and I had a lot more arguments going on in the comment section and stuff like that. And YouTube kind of hit me hard. You know, I was looking at it and I'm like, fuck. Back in the day, every single person that made videos, every single person that, you know, watched videos, everybody who commented, like, we were all a small community of tight-knit people that were all friends. And now I've got some 12-year-old from England calling me a fuckface for killing Tom in a video game. And it's just like, holy crap, the world changed really fast and I was kind of blinded by it because I'm so used to the group of people that I produce content for. And I think that's the biggest change that happened over the course of my years doing this, is that the types of people that you have access to nowadays that are going to be watching this have a whole different idea of what you should be making video-wise than when I started. When I started, you could just sit down and talk, you know? Didn't even have to be about anything. This is commentary number 27. Today I'm going to talk about ladders. Like, okay, that's fine. But now it's different. Now you have an expectation to produce high quality, good quality content, highly edited. You know, I'm not saying that's necessary, but there is an expectation for that. So I think that was kind of a shock to me. Mayanite brought a bunch of people that I was not necessarily expecting to be, you know, joining the channel. And, you know, it worked out. I won't say that it saved my channel, but it definitely brought me from being in an uncomfortable position in my life to being extremely happy where I am. And I do owe a lot of that to not only the people that watched Mayanite, but also Tom and Jordan for just, you know, for just being friends and enjoying the content. I know that Tom didn't like think, hey, I should go ahead and save Jericho's channel here. But I mean, whether he liked it or not, it definitely helped out a ton. And in that 1 year, I gained more subscribers than I ever had in my life. Like, that, it was an amazing experience to be a part of. And now I credit a lot of the stuff from way back in the day of just, you know, my thick skin just helping me get out there and helping me really, you know, experience the world in a different light with confidence. I credit that all to the beginning, you know. The very beginning of my YouTube career really helped me develop myself as a person. It helped me develop myself as a human, as somebody who was confident in their abilities to do X, Y, Z. And then the end half with Mayanite really helped me grow and be able to show off who I've become and what content I can produce to a wider audience. I think those are the two biggest stages that I went through when I made videos. So we're coming up on 50 minutes here. I should probably tap out, guys. I was, in my head, I'm like, this will be a 20-minute long video. I spent like 25 minutes talking about sniping. So, you know, there's no longer a stigma that you have to put up with in YouTube. There's no longer this stigma where you have to explain to even your viewers like what you're doing. Everybody kind of just takes YouTube at face value. Sure, you got to explain to people outside of YouTube what you're doing, but it's not as weird anymore. And I take that for granted a lot, and I know that a lot of people do, but when you really look back on it, it's amazing. It's really reassuring to see the level of respect that people are gaining for not only people who play video games, but people who make videos and content that doesn't just appear on TV. Maybe it's on Twitch, maybe it's on YouTube. And I'm really thankful for that. I really am. I think a lot of it has to do with the thousands and thousands of people out here who are who are amazing at what at what they do, and as well as the viewers out there that are convincing parents and friends one by one that it's not just a weird hobby, it's actually a legitimate job that can develop. But above and beyond all, I think that it's really important to reiterate, and you'll hear this a lot from anybody who's been doing YouTube for a long time. Nobody got into this for making money. Nobody started this to make money. Nobody started this to do anything other than to just make videos and just have an outlet for their creation. And I think that gets lost a lot, which sucks. So I wanted to thank you guys for watching my YouTube life video, I guess you could call it. I know I rambled for a lot of places, and other places might not have gone to an in-depth, look as you might want, but I love doing this. I love talking about the good old days. I can see why being old people, why old people are like, back in my day. I can see why that's fun for them. And I really, really appreciate everything that's happened to me, not only in the past, but currently, right now, just amazing amounts of support and people out there. We're coming up on 1 million subscribers, some milestone that honestly I never thought I'd hit. I swear to God, I'm going to cry. Maybe not on camera, but I'm going to cry when that happens, man. 7.5 hard years of work from the moment I created a YouTube channel. 6.5 years on this current channel that I've been doing this. I am beyond excited, beyond excited. So I wanted to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit the follow button, and I'll see you guys hopefully in another 7 years. Peace.